Planning Commission meeting to order for April 24th with a pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Deborah Addy is absent and excused. Mark Bouchard.
Here.
Christopher Daggy.
Here.
Chris O'Toonan.
Here.
Christine Holcomb.
Here.
Tom Kozel.
Here.
Robert Muesling here. Wayne Torno.
Anybody hear from him? I have not heard from him.
And Kathy Schweikart.
Here, thank you. Item number 4 is approval / amendments to the agenda.
Motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Deborah Addy is excused. Absent Mark Bouchard.
Here. Here. Here.
Sorry. Christopher Daggy.
Yes.
Chris O'Toonan.
Yes.
Christine Holcomb.
Yes.
Tom Kozel.
Yes.
Robert Muesling, yes. Wayne Torno is absent. And Kathy Schweikart.
Yes, thank you. Item number 5, approval of minutes of March 27th.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of March 27th, 2024 as submitted.
Support.
We have a motion and support. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Deborah Addy is absent. Mark
Yes.
Bouchard. Christopher Daggy.
Yes.
Chris O'Toonan.
I'll abstain since I was not here.
Christine Holcomb.
Yes.
Tom Kozel.
Abstain.
And I will be abstaining as well.
Everybody missed.
Wayne Torno is absent. And Kathy Schweikart.
Yes. Thank you. Item number 6 is new business. We have no new business for this meeting, so I'm going to move on to item number 7, which is unfinished business, which relates to 9735 Pearl Beach Boulevard. Applicant's request is for special land use approval to allow marine construction on subject property. We had sorry about that. We had already held the public meeting and closed it. I'm going to ask Steve if you'd like to come and update us on any further information you have in regards to this.
Good evening. Back in January, you did review, as you indicated, Chairman, reviewed the special land use request for a marine construction business. At that time, it was determined that the site plan that was submitted was a concept site plan and not an existing condition site plan. So the applicant asked that if I understand correctly, the applicant's attorney asked that we table the item and allow him to submit a new site plan. My original review was based on that previous concept site plan, which showed a 10-foot easement, landscape easement along the side street there. And it was close to meeting the ordinance, and I recommended approval, being that there's a lot of existing conditions that are present. The new site plan that was submitted has some modifications to it, and it doesn't show that 10 or 12-foot side yard landscape area. So I was unable to recommend approval at this time. However, I have no objection that if the Planning Commission wishes to listen to the applicant, he's proposing some additional landscape treatment, a wall that's going in that would suffice. And if you agree, I have no objection. I would recommend approval.
Thank you, Steve. Appreciate that. The applicant or their attorney?
Good evening. Good to see you all again. John McKenzie, attorney for Gabriel Marine Services and Darren Gabriel. I think last time I was here it was pitch black at 7 p.m., so it's nice to see you when the sun's out. Like Mr. Kaysen stated, we were last time we were here there was a holdup with the recommendation to approve the site plan, and one of the reasons that we tabled that, at least in my opinion, was, if you recall, at that time it's when there was construction going on with the township and the Pearl Beach Park and Pier. that was going in down there. So we had to, or at least Darren had to somewhat work his site plan around that. And I think that we have. He worked with Mr. Mueller in that regard to bring this to fruition. And from what Steve, I have a letter from Mr. Kaysen that has five concerns raised on it. 3 of them are assurances. 3, 4, and 5 are assurances, and I don't think we have an issue there. Number 1 and 2 are what deal with physical changes to the site plan or the property. And number 1 requires a 25-foot green belt that is basically a barrier between Mr. Gabriel's property and the residential properties. It's either a 25-foot green belt or a mason wall. And what Darren has installed there is a fence, which essentially serves the same purpose as a mason wall. And, you know, I would offer to the board that it could even is a better substitute than a masonry wall because it won't crumble. Of course, it will require some maintenance, but I think the fence serves the same purpose. So we would ask that the board approve the fence instead of the mason wall in that 25-foot greenbelt area. Number 2, there's a 12-foot greenbelt that's requested or required under the ordinance. And I was just at the property a few minutes ago, and Darren has installed a really nice privacy fence, which is 5 feet tall. And what I think is great about it is the fence that's installed is the same exact fence that the township installed on their construction project. So now when you go down there, there's some conformity and consistency in the fencing. It looks nice. And so we would request that that fence be approved in substitute to the 12-foot green belt. Darren's also, there is an arborvitae at the end of it. And I've also spoken with Darren about installing some portable pots or planters that could go there either in front of the fence or he doesn't have a lot of room to go beyond the fence because this is the point of ingress and egress into his marina. Whether it's being used as a marina or marine construction, he still has to have a point of ingress and egress off of Pearl Beach Boulevard to get trucks and equipment out of there, and whether in and out. And whether the use is marine or marine construction, there's still large boats and large trucks and things like that that have to get in and out, and it's been that way since the early 1900s, to my understanding. So there's a little bit of a hardship there, and he's limited with what he can do. But he has, like I said, erected the fence, which is the same fence that the township did. He's planted trees, and he's willing to also do some portable planters and pots if the aesthetics are a concern. So we are asking that the board approve the site plan, and if there's some additional, like I said, I'm calling them pots, some landscaping and pots, Darren would do that, and we ask that you make a recommendation to approve the site plan. Is there any questions?
Any more questions? Not at the moment.
Okay.
Thank you. I see Gary from the building department's here. Do you want to add anything to this discussion at all?
Not this time.
Okay, thank you. Okay, board members. Discussion, questions?
I have a question for Steve, if that's all right.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just wondering if these 2 items, number 1 and 2, if that would be something that should be in front of the ZBA, or is that,
It's a special land use, so
Okay.
you have discretion within special land use situations.
okay.
So I believe you could make the changes.
We can make the changes, it doesn't have to go in front of ZBA to, okay.
You're allowed to make changes that allow things to be compatible, more compatible with your area.
Okay.
Do we have to get approval from the board? Do we got to send it to the board, or is it,
Special land use, I believe, has to go to the board.
We recommend,
so it'd be recommended approval to the board?
yes. We make a recommendation either way. How's that?
Recommendation.
Does it go to county then too?
No.
Okay, just to the board here. Okay. Any other questions? Mark? No?
No, we got to go to the board, we'll go to the board.
Right.
I'm ready.
You're right. I just took another drive. I've been there a couple of different times, and I do agree with the attorney's representation, because I did ask point blank the question, because it's a beautiful fence that just went up, and apparently the township put up the one for the Pearl Beach Pier. And apparently they matched it on Gabriel's side themselves at their own expense, so it does look uniform in that direction. as far as that goes. I will acknowledge the fact that there is an arborvitae at the end. It is a, from my point of view, it is a very busy area between township bathrooms, Johnny Legas,
Yes.
parking lot,
Peter.
pier, their construction, Gabriel Marine, all that. I would have to say, though, it looked pleasantly, neatly
It was neat.
versus some other sites that are existing in our township as far as construction goes, marine construction goes. So that's my 2 cents worth, and I reviewed both of Mr. Casson's review of this project. So I guess that's where I'm at in those questions or observations. So, go
I've
ahead.
got a question for the attorney. The fence that's installed, is that physically attached, or is that just a freestanding fence?
It's on a steel beam pier, it's secure.
So it could be lifted out of the way then?
I'm not an engineer, I didn't design it, I looked at it, but.
So it's not physically attached to the ground, so it's not real property, it's a,
The beam appeared to me to be in the ground, but could it be lifted out?
well, I didn't know if it looked to me like it was something that could get moved around as opposed to a permanent fence there.
Potentially.
It says
I don't know exactly how it's installed, I can just tell you that there is a fence there that is attached to a steel beam that looks secure.
How many employees?
How many employees are at Gabriel Marine?
Yeah,
3.
3. That's typical through the year, or is that very summertime, it might be busier?
3 through the year.
And a question for Steve. In regards to the work area that's closest to the river, there's no fence along that boundary line. What keeps someone from, a child or someone from wandering into their site? You have any thoughts on putting a permanent fence along there with a gate to make that more secure? Any thoughts on that?
That would be something the planning commission could consider if you wanted, under special land use.
Right. we could
There's nothing in the ordinance that states that there has to be a fence adjacent to the river. It just indicates that there has to be some kind of barrier treatment, landscaping adjacent to
Right.
residential.
But I just was wondering what your thoughts are to make it safer, because people will be walking back and forth through there. And there's some pretty heavy-duty equipment
Sure.
moving back and forth in there, and I'd hate to have a child wander off and get into that site. It'd be pretty easy to, could happen pretty quick.
You again, similar to, you have the right to vary things.
Right.
Or, you have the right to ask for additional requirements if you choose that is appropriate.
We have the right, I was curious on your opinion on that.
I haven't looked at it. I mean, I don't know what the view you're talking about, so I can't really give a,
Well, the property line that's common to Pearl Beach and toward the river, where someone would be walking along there. It abuts the pier, yes. So.
You mean where the
sure.
fence is?
Well, the fence is way in.
That's the township fence.
Well, the fence, well, you've got the fence here, and then there's the new one they put back a ways, but then this area is all open. So if someone was walking along there, a child could easily wander in there. And,
Maybe
But the
not.
same could be said for the opposite side of the pier.
Yes,
There's nothing there.
right.
There's a wood fence that the township put up,
Right.
a vacant lot that's completely open to the river.
Well, I agree, open to the river, I'm just,
I mean, if we would require him, I
Right.
would say we'd have to require that adjacent lot too.
I've been down there on numerous occasions, and I've never saw an issue about, I'll take my dog down there and never saw an issue whatsoever as far as people going from that one spot over to his property, because it is private property.
fine.
Okay, so that doesn't really happen.
Mr. Nagy, if I could just comment on.
Sure.
I don't know if you've been down there, but where.
Lots of times,
Okay. Recently?
almost every day, yeah.
Okay, so then you've probably seen it, but where the current fence is, there is a fence that separates the property lines at least down by the water and goes out several feet. The only part that's open is up more towards the road, where the people are egressing into the parking lot. I don't think kids will be playing in the middle of the road that far up. I mean, they're gonna be down by the park, by the water, where there is a fence that provides a barrier. They're playing in the road up there. I mean, the parents also have an issue of their kids being in the middle of traffic coming up and down the road. And I would hope that this is on the water. I hope the parents are watching their children and blocking them from walking into the north channel, right? So, and there's several hazards out there.
That's true.
Parents are gonna have to do a whole watch their children and use of providing any extra, ordinary type of harm. Thank you.
Any more comments, questions from anybody?
I have a question. Yep. How long has Mr. Gabriel been at that location?
2014. Yeah, and what Darren just said to me too, there's never been any reported accidents to date.
Hope to keep it that way.
I have one other question. It may sound stupid, but what is the difference between a marina and marine construction?
It's under the ordinance. I mean, there is a limitation to the use as far as equipment and some things that can be done out there. I with all due respect to the ordinance, I do think it's splitting hairs because as a marina, you can already lift, boats in and out of the water, which is, you're pulling a 40-foot boat in and out of the water. I don't see that as a huge difference than lifting a beam in and out of the water. If that is dropped, it's gonna be catastrophic either way, okay? So, but really, that's what I see is whether you're moving equipment on and off a barge for marine construction purposes compared to just servicing boats and storage.
Okay, good enough.
Robert, any questions? You don't have to have any.
I guess I got another question with the barge that is currently there. Is that going to be a permanent fixture? Is that going to be coming and going all the time? As far as work is concerned? I mean,
I believe the ordinance allows the barge to be there. They're just not allowed to build barges there. So I think, that is their business, and I believe it will be there. However, when they're doing the jobs, I see barges parked all over Lake St. Clair, and different contractors, when they're doing the job, they stay out there, then they'll go back to their base, and then they'll go back out for a new job. So I think it will be coming and going.
Marina could have a big 40-footer parked there or something too.
yeah. I know we have that one boat, what's a pontoon boat, which is,
The breaking barriers.
yeah, right. And I don't know, I just thought that maybe if there was a boat parked behind that and he was and that pontoon boat's trying to get out, that he doesn't have any room to maneuver in getting out. So that was the only concern I had, but thank you for that information.
Sure. I'm sure Darren will be
Oh, yeah.
conscious enough to block the neighboring business.
I just had to make the point.
Yeah, that's good.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments, discussion?
So my only thing, and Steve would probably be the best at this, what is the largest purpose to a masonry wall or the 25 feet between a commercial area or industrial area and a residential area?
What is the reason?
Yes.
Yeah, well, it's an antiquated rule, but it's just basically to block the view.
Yeah, I'd say my only concern would be more, I guess, safety wise. But view, and then a masonry wall, I'd say is probably substantially stronger than a wood fence.
Right.
And that would be one of my concerns.
If you think, Commissioner, of the reason why it was put in there adjacent to residential as opposed to anything else, the reason, I gotta surmise that it was basically to block the view from residential, not for safety reasons, because it'd be difficult to create an argument that it's more safe if there's industrial next door or commercial than there is.
Okay.
But back in the 50s and 60s, when most of these zoning ordinances were developed, everybody wanted these. In fact, there was always a 4-foot 8-inch masonry wall, which was basically 8 courses or whatever it was, a block. And most communities started to get away from that, go into more landscaping, decorative treatments.
Okay. That was my only.
Any other questions, comments? Any motion anybody would like to make?
I'll make a motion to recommend this goes to the board for review and possible approval.
Support.
And that's regards to recent,
May 5th is the next board meeting.
but that's in regards to the site plan that was received on March 13th, 2024?
Yes, I do that.
So, quick question on that, though. The site plan doesn't really dictate that there's a fence in that area, that there is a fence? The new fence that was put in to match the township's fence?
It is, sir.
It is?
Yeah, it's a,
Go ahead.
The place looks great.
Not judges. What am I missing?
So right there.
Good job.
Where am I missing it? Help me out. This is where the fence is supposed to be, right?
The little one's too hard to read.
Because this isn't the fence we're talking about. There's supposed to be a fence right here. And I don't see it there.
I know it's physically there.
I know, but I mean, if it's not on the site plan and we approve this site
Right,
plan,
that's why I'm
then
asking the question.
we're kind of approving one without a fence on it.
You don't want to do that, and
No.
that's what you approve.
We'll be back in the blue horse.
this one, maybe I'm mistaken.
Oh, the one up here?
We may have got the wrong
That's what I
site plan.
thought. I thought it was this guy.
March 13th on this
Yeah,
one.
Mine
there
says
is
March
a
13th.
removable fence
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, where it says
Was it
6-foot
updated
fence,
maybe?
it says removable.
Yeah.
An old one?
We've all got
Dated
the
Dated March
same,
13th.
Yeah, that's what I'm questioning. Good catch.
Yeah, this is March 13th.
Was it? The same one they had last time?
No, this
Have you
is
seen
different
it,
than
Steve,
last
or-
time. Because there was
Oh,
more
he
stuff.
didn't change the date on it?
Yeah, it's got, well, he submitted a new proposal.
Oh,
that's the one that's the water
Yeah,
edge.
and this was the 12-foot issue, 12-foot.
But this is where we're talking about, this fence through here, right? Isn't there a fence here that,
No, there's a little fence there, see this line,
Right here.
right there, yeah. And then this is ingress and egress in and out of the marina. To approach, and then there's this fence here.
but where's this decorative fence that you put in? Because it's not existing wood fence, is it?
Yeah, it's
It is.
right here.
And that's this piece?
Yeah, and this is the same one that the township has, that's over in this area.
Looks identical.
You're identical.
Okay.
And then you have a fence that runs all the way down this
Yeah,
whole
right there.
property line.
Yeah, that's what I saw. I thought that this came across here
No, you can't.
more than that.
This is where you get in and out of the marina,
Understood?
right there, that was blocked off.
Okay. Got it. Thank you. Yeah, that's that one then. That's that little piece that's right. That's that little piece that's right there.
That little
Okay.
That's what he's
piece,
showing. Okay.
So is that clear for
Yep.
you? So, I'm sorry, Mark made the motion, correct?
That's correct.
That includes the site plan from March, dated March 13th, 2024?
Mr. Chairman?
Yep, sorry.
It's Motion to recommend approval of
Recommend
special land
approval.
use.
Yes.
Ooh, good point. Okay. Did you hear what Steve said?
No.
Say it again, Steve.
Motion to recommend approval of the special land use for Gabriel Marine to the township board.
Okay, motion to recommend approval for special land use Gabriel Marina.
Which is located at 9735 Pearl Beach Boulevard.
Which is located at 9735 Pearl Beach Boulevard.
So we got Mark making the motion, We have Christine supporting it.
Yep, hold
That
on.
includes the site plan that's in front of us for March 13th. Steve, any comments on our motion?
No.
Okay. Any further discussion regarding this one? Sue, do you have the motion? Okay. Everybody understand?
Yep.
All right, roll call, please.
Hold on.
Okay.
I've had too much time off.
Well, we're going to mention that to you, but.
Deborah Addy is absent.
Correct.
Mark Bouchard,
Yes.
Christopher Daggy,
No.
Chris O'Toonan,
Yes.
Christine Holcomb,
Yes.
Tom Kozel,
Yes.
Robert Musling, yes. Wayne Torno is absent. And Kathy Schweikart.
Yes. So we need to stamp 3 of these site plans, and then I need the applicant or their representative to sign, and you get one, and then it'll go on to
have-
the next
She's got
board
2 over
meeting
there.
that it could be
Oh,
put
yeah,
on.
3.
Okay?
all 3?
Again, this is a recommendation.
I don't know how many I have.
Sure, thank you. If you just give us a moment, we'll get it taken care of.
Hand down.
No, that's old.
Thank you.
We got
You got 3? Oh, we'll hand it back. Thank you.
Don't got enough?
Chris. Yep, we do. There you go.
Fishing.
Are you going to sign it?
Well, this still has to go to.
Yeah, but this is what,
Do they still get a copy?
I haven't, we
Of
haven't
what?
decided yet.
Because it's,
play golf.
because this doesn't give them permission.
Do ya?
it doesn't give them permission, but if
Where do you
we're,
go?
we're acknowledging, we're not giving you permission, but we're acknowledging, so
Proving that site plan.
you gotta go to the board.
Oh, okay.
I would say he should have it so he can at least,
Okay, and then we'll need your signature on the
Bruce Hill
applicant
on
line.
Saturday.
Okay, I hear that's nice.
I just think that way he's got the full package in front of him. And the board has their
I don't like the
package
travel
from what we
cap.
did, whether they agree or disagree,
I
they say have one.
I got them the 2 leaves.
Yes, and then the township will keep
You
it.
can sign all 3 plans.
No, no, you sign all 3 and keep one, and then return the 2 to us. And that way, when it goes to the township board, the whole package and what we did here
Keep you busy.
will be in front of the township board to do what they're gonna do,
I was in a golf outing.
okay?
Metamore Country.
Does that make sense?
Golf outing.
Thank you very much.
sure?
Good luck.
Already?
Oh, yeah, in May.
All right, we're gonna move on to item number 8, which is planning consultants report. Steve?
At your next meeting, you have the tabled conditional rezoning that Mr. Jendernock is representing. And also you have something that just came in this afternoon. I saw an email that was sent to me. Club Capri is asking for a small addition. I haven't even had a chance to look at the site plan, but that'll be before you at the next meeting.
Thank you. And if no one has heard, Steve is like leaving us.
No, it's not allowed.
Thank you. It's time to start cutting back.
Club Capri?
Yeah, Club Capri.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Good for
congrat-
you.
you're gonna be here, what, till the end of June, or?
Yeah.
Okay, so,
Congratulations.
yes, congratulations, thank you.
Hey, Steve, what was that first one you mentioned, other than Club Capri?
Mill Street. Mill Street?
The conditional
Oh, no,
rezoning.
okay.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Mill Street.
Yeah.
Okay, we got it.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't quite like.
Item number 9 is ZBA representative's report, which would be Chris.
That'd be me. Okay. Anchor Bay Drive, they're requesting a variance for a height variance for a boathouse. They also wanted a 8-foot plus ceiling on the second floor area. Boathouse, kind of surprising, they were allowed to get approval to go 8 feet out into the channel with the boathouse with a with a second floor.
On Anchor Bay Drive?
Yeah, on the canal side, yeah.
Oh, wow.
8 feet out.
That's going to be across the canal.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Wow.
That wasn't up to the township, that was approved. You know, so they're 8 feet out. But they did get a height variance, but they did not get the second floor variance.
Yeah, that's what I read too.
And, okay, Macomb Road, which is the tower, didn't get enough information to proceed, and so at this point, they're supposed to come back with additional information in regards to the tower,
To the height of it?
the height, and also there's setback issues throughout. So we're supposed to be gathering more information, and then they're supposed to come back.
Okay.
And then there was one let's see, one other one.
You're busy.
Poor guy had to wade through all of that. On Ed Lane, he was looking for a setback to allow a larger home in there. He took down a manufactured or mobile home, and he was allowed to get a encroachment onto the rear yard, second time through for him. He already has the house built, and it's waiting in a parking lot. So, oops. So now he needs a variance. I guess he didn't realize it until, I don't know when he realized it, but it's already built and done, and he couldn't return it, so he did get the variance for that, so everyone was happy there. Neighbors seemed okay with it,
Good.
and that all went pretty well.
Well, thank you very much for the report. Sounds like you've been busy.
A little bit.
Okay. Item number 10 is board representatives report, which would be Mark.
Okay, this will be fun.
Oh,
Colony Tower,
Yeah.
we're looking at renovation of that, especially painting and looking at the superstructure. We're planning on purchasing with grants a marsh master to control the phragmites around the game areas and obviously private property.
Did you get to
And-
drive that? Did you get to drive that?
I hope so. I hope I don't run over my foot, but you know. And we're looking at the Harson's Island algae wheel is coming in
Okay.
abolition, which is the septic system.
Right.
yes.
Greenhouse.
Yeah, greenhouse. And that's about it.
Thanks, Mark, for the update. Appreciate it. Chairperson's report. I did reach out to our attorney, Christine Anderson, in regards to the board's request from Mill Street, and she is putting together, with the information that's been provided through the township offices, we'll call it recommendation, oversight, whatever you want to call it, of the topic that we're addressing, and should be to us easily before our next meeting. Okay?
In regards to Mill Street, am
Yes.
I allowed to make a comment on that?
Sure, why not? Oh, wait a minute. No. No.
Unfortunately,
Yeah, no.
That's fine. It's not a problem. I just thought it was open here. We were allowed.
No. I was just updating the request, so that's why I said yes first, and I needed to correct myself. That was
That's fine.
incorrect. No,
No
just
problem.
letting you know that I did follow through with the attorney to make sure she has everything that she needs through, whether it was I or the township offices providing her the information, just so you know that is in place and moving forward. So, sorry, I was a little too quick on that one.
No, I wasn't going to express my opinion, just some information I found, that's all.
So,
But, wait.
and again, if anybody's interested in any type of classes online and/or attending in person, please don't hesitate to ask the township, and if it's within their budget to approve, they will. Okay? Now, item number 12 is planning commission members' comments. Any members' comments?
Yes. I have some sad news to pass along a little bit after the fact, unfortunately. Fellow planning commission member, former Ed Keller, passed away on March the 28th.
Oh, no, wow.
And unfortunately, I didn't find out until just this past weekend. Ed was with the planning commission for quite a few years. And really appreciate everything he did while he served the township. I'd just like to call for a moment of silence in Ed's honor. Thank you.
I'd also add, the reason we now definitely have been saying the Pledge of Allegiance was because of Ed. Before that, in all the meetings we attended, or I attended, I think Christine can verify, we never did it until he mentioned it. So yes, Ed was a very important part of this community. Any other planning commission member comments? No? I'll move on to item number 13, which is public comments. Any public that would like to make a comment, please come to the podium. State your name and address. Kind of quiet. Gary, do you, not that Gary, the other Gary. You all sit back there? Okay, you're fine. Okay. Any other public comments, maybe? No? All right, we're going to go on to item number 14, which is adjournment.
Make a motion to adjourn?
Support. Second.
We have a motion and support. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Thank you, everybody. It was nice to see almost everybody this time. We felt a little like less last week, or last month.